Although there are 5 candidates vying for the Blaine House on the November ballot, it's been difficult for event organizers to get them all in one place for forums or debates. But all that changes this weekend when the 5 square off for their first televised event. But don't be surprised if you don't recognize the venue.
Hello and welcome to Youth in Politics. I'm Justin Chenette, and today's guest is independent gubernatorial candidate Sean Moody. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Justin.
Let's delve into some of these topics.
Justin Chenette and Logan Levitt may not have the star power of some of Maine's TV anchors, but they're convinced time is on their side. Neither are out of their teens yet, but they will be the first to interview the gubernatorial candidates together in a forum that will be televised by WPME as part of the CW network that includes WPXT. The stations are respectively licensed in Lewiston and Portland and have featured a weekly show called Youth in Politics for the last 7 years. With high school camera operators and hosts, the show focuses on a youthful perspective, but according to Justin Chenette, a 19-year-old student at Linden State College in Vermont, there is no ideological agenda.
The only agenda is to hold leaders accountable.
Chenette and Logan Levitt have been doing just that on a series of televised interviews that are archived on the show's website, www.ynetlive.com. Chenette says the show strives to maintain an unbiased format.
There isn't like a political view, whether Democratic or Republican leaning. It's unbiased, and I think that's what journalism should be. And so it's about a half-hour program with commercials, and it's a kind of a sit-down format, and it's just an interview.
The 5 gubernatorial candidates really haven't had the opportunity to mix it up as a group yet, and while this Sunday's taping of the show will provide them all with a chance to get ready for prime time, Logan Levitt, 17, and a senior at Deering High School, says none of the politicians should presume that they'll be thrown softball questions from their teenage hosts.
Me and Justin, we have our questions prepared, and we are definitely not going to be easy. We are going to get down and dirty. We aren't going to ask typical questions that they probably hear from other stations or would hear in other forums. We really want to get down to issues that maybe people wouldn't think about first of all, but things they really care about.
Chenette says access to health care and increased employment opportunities are as important to young people as any other segment of society. But he says many of the show's young viewers want to know more about the candidates' plans for post-secondary education in Maine. He says the 90-minute show will be noteworthy not only for being the first televised forum of the campaign season, but also one that provides such a unique experience for student broadcasters.
Speaking of the coup, I think it was a great opportunity to be able to do that and to be kind of the first televised debate with all 5 candidates. I think is an unprecedented opportunity for especially as a young person to be able to do that and say, looking back on this time, it's going to probably be one of the highlights of my career, starting out.
I've been fighting for the last, I would say, 10 years to give young people a voice.
Dudley Davis is the executive producer for Youth in Politics, and he says he started the show as a way to introduce young people in southern Maine to the world of broadcasting and public policy.
By starting Youth in Politics, this was one of the medium in which that we did this. But their job is to learn actually how to get better, to ask, good, strong questions, and then do the follow-up questions behind that, and not let the guests lead and run and determine what questions are going to be asked. And our kids have actually done a terrific job in doing this.
For candidates like Democratic Blaine House contender Elizabeth Mitchell, the chance to be interviewed by students in the first televised gubernatorial forum is both challenging and unique.
Frankly, I'm looking forward to being on the same panel with all my opponents. It's the very first time during the campaign, and I look forward to it. And I'm glad that young people are leading the way.
The 90-minute event is scheduled to air at 8 p.m. on the CW channel WPME on September 14th and September 18th. For MPBN News, I'm A.J. Higgins.